Hello everyone. Yeah, something a little bit new this time. I was given the opportunity to try a product from Pollyfab. They're a company that makes 3D printed shoes. I know it's not the usual, okay, here's a material, here's a printer, here's a piece of hardware, but for me, this is something I've seen on the rise, and it comes right on in there with 3D printing. Now, everybody's seen the various ones that you can get on like Maker World and, Printables and a few other places for printing your own shoes. But this is the first time I've seen one where they have specific purpose and they're commercially made. So they have two versions. They have the Aero and the Flux. Aero is for more indoor, and Flux are more outdoor type. Like sneakers, like you would go walking or jogging or stuff like that. So I've chosen the Flux. So let's go ahead and get in the box and show you what they look like. So here we have the Pollyfab box that arrived yesterday. Obviously, explore every peak moment. I'm curious about this 5D aspect, They're saying lightweight, air cushion, quick to dry, breathable, flexible, ergonomic fit. Hyper air. That's interesting. Now, I'm a European size 44. Yeah, probably not the greatest of color choices for me, but, I said, let's just go with it, yeah? So, first appearance, very mesh-like, looks very interesting. You can see that there is little ridges, obviously, for where, like when you put your foot down, if there's liquid or other things, it's going to try and mold what your foot hits, obviously. So it is trying to basically be a shoe. It is the correct shapes you would expect, obviously, for a shoe. So let's go ahead and get some of that out. Let's see how flexible this is. Now, just one-handed, yeah, very, very flexible. So, very squishy. Now the bottom, this felt, okay, so this is very pliable. This felt a lot more rigid, like it has more thickness. Definitely does. You can see that in the print. I can't even see the layer lines if there is any, so I don't even know how they made these, but the detail is amazing. So let me go ahead and get these unboxed the rest of the way, get them on, and today they're going to get a walk because I have to go somewhere, and they're going to get a proper tryout. What does that say? Okay, so can't quite make out what that says. Something 0. Anyway, there we are. So let's get this going and see how they feel. Okay, now that is very interesting feeling under my feet. I'm glad I chose the size I did. I definitely recommend if you do get some of these, use the sizing chart that they have. I kind of knew because they kind of reminded me of Crocs, everybody knows those. And so I worked based on that, compared it against the chart. Turns out it was the same size. So I'm a size 10 UK, and that's European 44, as you may have seen on the bottom when I was unboxing them. But yeah, this is a new sensation under my feet. And under my heels, I can definitely feel when I put my weight on it, it definitely feels where it gives a little bit. Like there's a cushioning. It's very, I don't even know how to explain it. It's not memory foam. It's not, sport gels like you find in some of these where they have a gel insert. It's a whole new feeling. I can definitely feel where it is supporting the outer ridges of the feet, like there's a more tendency to be there. This might be good, because, the way people walk sometimes will be one side or the other. You'll notice it when your shoes will wear more on one side or the other. But they're definitely, when I lift my feet, it's like they're not even there, other than the feeling that this is gripping properly to my feet. I don't feel like they're going to slip off, which is quite surprising. I am blown away with this. I'm stuttering here a little bit because I am actually grasping for words, especially this early in the morning. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting, putting these through their paces outside. So I'll come back to the second part once I've gotten outdoors with them, because at the moment, need coffee, need breakfast, and then we're out the door. Okay, and here we are. Pollyfab, welcome to England. Here we are in the north, obviously near Blackpool. And yeah, these are definitely comfortable. They've got good cushioning. And I'm just walking my normal pace, which is usually fairly fast. But even with a bit of running, it's more cushioned than some of the running shoes I've had. So I can only imagine if they make something that, has laces or speed laces or something like that, might actually suggest that. Because slip-ons obviously are not something for everybody. But definitely, you can see it literally works perfect. And it can work on rough, road, or even up on the pavement, walking where you want. Definitely something. Well, I better concentrate on where I'm going, and I'll follow up in a summary. Well, a little bit more on the actual in use. Definitely the most comfortable shoes that I've worn that are not traditional shoes. Definitely has almost like a cushioning that it's hard to describe, because it's not, like I said earlier, it's not like memory foam, and it's not like these gel inserts. It actually has a more like a suspension that knows where it needs to be when it needs to do it, as if it was designed to handle your body weight coming down on it, regardless of how your foot lands. And I've been walking now for just under a mile, and it definitely has not made my feet feel tired or sore. The top of the shoe is gripping my feet so snugly, but not tight. So definitely has been well thought through. Anyway, I'll follow up the last bit when I get home. And there we go. Just about 2 miles round trip in the Pollyfab Flux shoes. And as you can see, that you can probably see it better now, that pattern I mentioned during the rest of it. It literally is in the shape of where your feet might put the most pressure. Obviously, definitely very comfortable, very flexible, where it needs to be. You can feel that the sole of the shoe obviously is more dense and more supportive where it should be, yet the top is shaped in such a way that it grabs the foot without feeling like it's going to fall off. Yeah, like some slip-on shoes and that. So for a sneaker that you can actually run in, walk in, so forth, this blows my mind. The cushioning, the feeling that it gives is almost undescribable, at least for me, but it's definitely very cushioning, very supportive. It takes my weight, and I weigh around 73 kilos, 73 to 76 on a good day. But, I walk heel heavy if I'm walking. So every time I hit down, it definitely took the cushioning. And I was like, these are really comfortable. And after almost 2 miles of walking, and then my feet aren't sore. So yeah, for a 3D printed shoe, it's mind-blowing. So obviously there was a lot of thought put into the design of the model. But there we go. You have any questions, drop them in the comments. You're welcome to do so, and I'll answer what I can.